right between our eyes, and I mean right between our eyes. I couldn't stress this more, that this is an opportunistic time for all of us. This is probably the most critical time for each and every one of you, and also understand the implications of what's going on here. So let me kind of paint the picture. The world is changing now and right before our face in ways that you're going to read about this in history books, because what's going on in this Iran war and the Middle East is really quite an amazing event, because the official narrative, that the U.S. has had, and this goes back a long time. We've had a run-in with Iran. Remember the Shah of Iran and that whole situation back 47, 48 years ago. The conflict there was they've killed a lot of Americans and took hostages, and they used the flight. The greatest thing, or the dumbest thing we've ever done, is disrupted Iraq, because Iran and Iraq kind of offset each other. They had battles all the time. And so when we took out Iraq, that kind of left Iran to sit there and grow unchallenged, pretty much. So as they built that nuclear kind of capability and kept threatening to build nuclear weapons, which we know that we didn't want that radical kind of regime to have those kind of powers and weapons. So our narrative has always been about the U.S., having a conflict with Iran, being a center of nuclear influence in that region. But that's really not why we're there. And if you heard my conversation talk about our national debt and where that issue is going, where that problem is going, the deeper strategic reality about something far more fundamental of why we're there, it's really control of the Middle Eastern oil is really why we're there. I mean, they can say, and honestly, I understand Israel doesn't want Iran to be a power there. They're a threat to Israel, because all the Gulf states will side with whoever's kind of the most powerful entity there outside of Israel. But it's really our interest there is Middle Eastern oil. And here's